Hello, YouTube family and friends. How are you? Um, I decided to, as God continues to drop things in my spirit, I decided to come back and do a part 3 to What Are You a Slave to? Like I said in my previous video, I haven't even scratched the surface. And it is many, many more. So I just have a few for you today. And we're going to talk about it. I didn't do a poetry on this. Of course, I did the poetry in part 1. So I just thought I'd just get right into my points. And the first point I'm going to ask today is, are you a slave to music? Do you like a certain tone, a certain type of music that you can't move or get your day started or go about your daily things without music in your ear? There has to be music going. That's the only way you can get excited. Some of y'all, it's the only way that you, quote unquote, can get in the spirit. You got to have some music going. Okay? So, but I think what most of us don't know is that Satan, Lucifer, he was the angel of music. In fact, he was the most beautifulest angel. But Satan's problem was he wanted to be higher than God. He wanted to elevate himself. He wanted to be above God. So this was why he was kicked out of heaven. Like some of us, we need to kick some things out of us, some habits and things that we are a slave to. We need to kick that out of us. Okay? Some of y'all might be a slave to the music industry. You might deny your worth just to receive a music deal. You might deny your worth just for the money. Yes, we've been told that money is the root of all evils, but it is true that it is the way that we handle the money. When we receive the money, I've always stated that you have to get the spirit before the pleasure so that you will know how to handle what God has given you, and you won't sell out. You won't sell your soul. That's what I have for the music. Are you a slave to gambling? Those of y'all that like to play cards and sit up all night and play cards. Take your hard-earned money to the card table. Take your hard-earned money to the fish tables. For some of y'all that work an honest job. But you know what? I don't think that some of y'all that really, truly value your worth, value your work, actually take your money to a card house or to a fish table. I believe that it's those that do not value what they do. They don't value their work. Because the word of God says that you ought to enjoy the fruit of your labor. You ought to enjoy the fruit of your labor. So that is not enjoying. When you've went to a card table or to a fish table and lost a week's earnings and your bills at home are not paid. You haven't taken care of the needs of your kids. But you're out there showboating and playing cards and gambling and things, and you've not taken care of your business. Your priorities are not in order. You know, they cast lots for Jesus' clothes. That's why I'm not a fan of shooting dice. They cast lots. They threw dice for his clothes. It's time out, guys. It's time to get on God's team. See what his plan and will is for your life. Get your priorities in order. Pray and ask God to make you a steward over the things that he's entrusted you with. Because the word of God says when you're faithful over little, then I'll make you faithful over much. Are you a slave to retail therapy? For those of y'all that out there that like to shop online, to shop, period. Because you might be feeling a little low. You feel like going on a computer and seeing a nice shirt or a nice dress. That is a way to get you, you know, in your mood from what's really, it's pretty much a cover up for what's really going on. Rather than dealing with the issue and getting to the root of it, you'd rather go online and shop. Retail therapy. You'd rather go to a store and just get a bunch of stuff. A bunch of stuff. Go along with the stuff you already got. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all in this pandemic has, you know what I mean, you might need some stock in online services. You might need to put some stock and bonds into that. Okay? Because I know there's a lot of us out there that have went and ordered something that we didn't even need. But it feels good. It's a cushion for you to sit on. It makes you feel good. When you've not dealt with the real issue. Because even when you put that shirt on or that dress on or those pair of shoes on, for you guys, that nice t-shirt with your favorite team or whatever you have on it, you still the same person. The problem still is there. It's time to get our priorities in order, guys. It's time to get our priorities in order and look at the big, big picture. Are you a slave to suffering? For those of y'all out there that always have a lowly story, walking around with a low spirit, with low vibrations, with low energy, telling somebody, well, you know, yeah, how you doing today, girl? You know, I don't, you know, the day ain't good today. But every time you see them, the day ain't good today. No, how you doing? I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I'm walking in the favor of God. Even when you don't feel it, you got to encourage yourself. You got to speak to yourself. Even when you don't feel it. The spirit of suffering. Wanting somebody to feel sorry for you. Because you ain't did what you needed to do in your past, in your present, and probably haven't decided what you're going to do in your future. Okay? Just a sad story that it destroys your thought process. It destroys your soul. It gets into your core. It destroys you. It destroys your peace. The spirit of suffering. The word of God was bruised and chastised for our iniquities. All that stuff was nailed to the cross. You don't have to carry that. It's done. It was nailed to the cross. And by his stripes we are healed. You're done. Let that stuff go. Keep your head up. Encourage yourself. Enlighten yourself. Enrich yourself. Empower yourself. Because it starts with you. Spirits are transferable. You coming around people with your low spirit, they vibrations is high. Before they know it, they can't understand how they feeling like you feeling that, and that ain't even they fight. Why? Because your energy has attracted to them, even if they're not strong, especially if they're not strong enough. Because they can fight that energy. They can dodge that negative energy. Are you a slave to storytelling? And then when I talk about storytelling, I'm talking about those that like to who done partied probably all night, or just hanging out on the block somewhere, talking and about what they did last night. Got a crowd around them, telling them how it went, how you did it, what you said, when you said it, what they thought about you when they heard you. You know, drawing attention, puffed upness. You're full of pride. And you need to get humble so that God can exalt you. Puffed upness. The word of God says that I don't boast about, Paul says, but I don't boast about the things on earth, but then I boast about the things in heaven. Boast and brag about what God is doing. How to get things in order for your life. Talk about that. Talk about getting in somebody's school. Talking about filling out a job application. For those of you out there that haven't got your priorities in order yet. Talk about that. Get in those type of crowds and see what they're talking about. How they started their business plan. How they went back to school and obtained their high school diploma. How they started a trade through a community college. Boast and brag about that. And watch God move for you. Because you've put him first. Second Corinthians 11:30 tells us, if I must boast, I will boast of the things that will show my weakness. No, we too full of pride. We too full of pride. We're not going to boast about the things that show our weakness. Because we was popping. And like I told you before, it's not you that's popping, it's the balloons that's popping. But we want to boast about all these other things. But we want to shelter. We want to confine. We want to isolate all of those things that's inside of us. That shows true weakness. When you're not knowing all along that are showing your true weakness is how God exalts you. His glory be upon you. Yes. Yes. So I just had a few points today. Just thought I'd drop in and give y'all a few more points that I got over the last few days. It's time to get things in order, guys. It's time to get on God's team. See what he's talking about. See what his will and purpose is for your life. So that you can be free. Because who the Son sets free is free indeed. So you can be free mentally. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So you can be free in your heart. Because God says, I know the intentions of the heart, for I created it. It's your heart that's not right. This is why you can be a slave to all of these things, because you've not let God deal with your heart. Give God the reins back of your life and let him steer you in the right direction so that you can be free and no longer a slave. It's my charge to you today. Again, do some soul searching. Go within yourself and find out what you are and have been a slave to. And ask God to clean you up. Again, I am Queen Poetry 73. This is my time for you today. I'll be back to see you all probably in the next couple of days with some more poetry, but I felt that this was needed, much needed. What are you a slave to? I want you to have a blessed day. Stay inspired. Stay encouraged. Stay empowered. And be uplifted. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Have a blessed day. Bye.